Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another Rate the Transfer Rumour video. Yes, this is the video that rates the transfer rumour. And Daz is on. Did you see the video with Sean on, by the way?
Yeah, a few interesting ones there. Now, I don't know about Sean's ratings now, but a few good ones there. And I would see if some of them come in.
I
Hopefully, there's a
re-
few surprises there too.
yeah, Sean might reply in the comments. You can have a bit of a battle there between yourselves, Daz and
See if we get them all
Sean.
right.
He wants to see a fight, Daz versus Sean.
Don't know now.
Um,
I think it's a fight contest.
yeah. We'll see what happens with this one anyway, but I'm going to start off with Aaron Dobbs, who's had a contract at Wexford, scored a lot of goals for Wexford last season. I think he was second top scorer actually behind Mikey Rowe, who I believe is on the transfer list, but anyway, that's another thing. Aaron Dobbs, yeah, to Dundalk. Obviously, Dundalk now in the first division. They're going to look maybe, I wonder if they look to maybe take some of the better players from other first division clubs. That might be a thing, but I think they're going to need a couple of players. They're certainly going to need a striker. How do you see that one?
Yeah, I think firstly that's an interesting one. Dobbs at Division One is obviously he's at a very good level in terms of like he's a really good player at that level. Like as you said, second top scorer that like consistently scoring. He's been in the league a few years now, so he's getting experience. He's still relatively young, and Dundalk will be in the market for players, as we all know, and a lot of their team will be going. So it would make sense to get players with first division experience in to try and get straight back up, which is what they want to do. And signing a really good goal scorer at that level is a sensible thing to do. And I just think it'd actually make a lot of sense that transfer would. I think he probably will leave Wexford. I think he kind of wants to grow a bit more. No disrespect to Wexford, but I just think Dundalk should be, putting on a title challenge for this season going ahead. You'd like to think that there will be, and you'd expect them to attract the best Division One players throughout the league to Dundalk, possibly. Um, I would actually put this one quite high. I don't think I've ever given a nine before, but I'm actually going to give it a nine. I'm fairly confident that one will go through, and I have seen stuff online about this already a few weeks ago, so I would expect this one to go through. I think it's quite likely, and yeah, look, I think he'd be a good fit there, and I think Dundalk fans would appreciate him.
Right, so Aaron Dobbs to Dundalk, 9 out of 10, interesting stuff. I'm going to leave a very interesting one till the very end. There's five players altogether here for the viewers who are watching. That's one down. But Brian Maher to Shamrock Rovers. Now, this one won't go away. This has been rumoured for at least a season, if not more. Brian Maher's out of contract. He hasn't signed a new contract this minute in time with Derry City. Shamrock Rovers, I would suggest, are definitely on the lookout for a goalkeeper this year. Poles, he had some good moments, some bad moments last year, but I think they're on the lookout for a goalkeeper. It looks like by the time this video is out that Tiernan Lynch will be from Larne, will be the new manager of Derry City. At this moment in time, compensation has been agreed between both clubs. So I expect when this video is out that he probably is confirmed as the Derry City manager. So they're going to have to, Derry City, if players are going to be moving on, they need to move moving on quickly, and if player, so they can look to bring in players, etc. Brian Maher, could he make that move back to Dublin and Shamrock Rovers?
Yeah, again, that's it's a good one that you threw out there, and obviously, new manager coming in, new ideas, new players, and it's been quite widely known that Derry are going to probably overhaul their team. Obviously, Brian Maher is a really top goalkeeper in the League of Ireland, if not the best goalkeeper in the League of Ireland. One of them anyway, definitely for me, top three. Um, Shamrock Rovers, I think they've had keeper issues. They're going to have it since their main man retired. It was
Mm.
always so hard for them to fill that gap. And if you look back to Rovers before they started getting really good, they're in the 2010s, they had keeper issues as well. So they don't want to be going back down that route. And Maher is a quick fix. He's a top goalkeeper. He's a top player. He's exactly every quality that they would want. And he's the type of player that I think Shamrock Rovers should be signing. That's no disrespect to Foles. I think he's done quite well at Rovers. A lot of pressure going in there as number one. Haven't been a number two, but he's an excellent backup. But I do think they should have a better number one, and it'll just really settle the team a bit more, the defense a bit more. And if you're going to put on a title challenge, you need to have a top keeper that's going to make that save. Like if you're going to have three shots in the game, you need him to save all three. And Brian Mark gives you that at this level. Interestingly, too, you said he's out of contract, so doesn't sign one back with Derry. So just
Not yet, anyway.
there won't be a fee involved. So it would make complete sense for Rovers to go out and get him. They don't really need to overhaul their team, but it would be a completely sensible transfer to go through. So I'm actually going to put this one quite high as well, Key. I'm going to put it as an 8. I think if he's going to sign with anyone else that's not Derry, I would go with Rovers. If not Rovers, I think it'd be abroad, but I certainly think he'll go with Rovers and he would be an excellent fit there.
Yeah, there was talk about this last year as well, but my instinct was telling me that Rovers were probably going to wait until he was out of contract, to be honest with
Yeah,
you. It'll be interesting to see if that happens now. But Brian Maher, Shamrock Rovers an 8 out of 10. Now, this one, Bray Wanderers defender. Now, I'm going to butcher his second name. I'm going to go for it anyway. Cole Omorehiomwan. Cole Omorehiomwan. I don't
good,
know.
good
I don't
attempt.
know. You
I
know who I'm
won't be.
talking about, though, don't you? The
I
centre
do.
half.
I do.
That he's only 22 years of age. He's a good player. Played with Bray this season. Obviously, struck a good partnership with Cantwell. Good from set pieces. Obviously, good defensively as well. Played recently in the playoff final against Drogheda United. Had a decent game, I felt as well. But him with a move to Galway United, John Caulfield's Galway United. How would you see that one?
Yeah, I don't really see that one happening. I think John Caulfield, and I think he's going to want to look for stronger players, maybe more experienced players. Like they obviously did quite well this season. They're going to want to try and build on that and not take a chance with a player from Division One. That's no disrespect to him. He did obviously incredibly well.
Mm.
But I just think Galway are going to go for a higher profile player, a more well known player, probably more experienced player. So I'm going to put it as a 3. I don't really think there's any interest there, but I definitely could see him going to a more higher stature team in Division One or potentially a lower league, yeah, rated team in the Premier Division. Like we could have fit a draw there maybe, but as for Galway, I don't see it happening. So I'm going to put it at 3.
Interesting stuff. I know Killian Bruder hasn't signed a contract as we speak for Galway United, obviously centre back, and they've signed a
Mm-hmm.
raft of new players, or not a raft of new players. They've signed on a raft of players that were there last year to new contracts, but interestingly, he hasn't signed yet. So maybe they're looking at a replacement. Who knows? Two more, and now this player actually, I've seen been linked with 3 clubs, but I'm going to fit this club with this player because I believe he might suit them. Frantz Pierrot at Shelburne. Obviously, Pierrot scored a couple of goals in the playoff final against Bray Wanderers. A big, strong unit is Pierrot. Shels have Sean Boyd, but he gets a lot of injuries. They do like to get crosses into the box. That suits Pierrot's game. He seems like the type of profile of forward that Shels might want. He has been. I've seen him being linked with other clubs as well. There's definitely other clubs interested, but how do you see the fish of Franz Pierrot to Shelburne?
Yeah, well, I think he's actually a very good player and he's an international player too. Like so, it's
Yeah,
always interesting.
80 international.
Yeah. It's always really interesting when you see international players in the League of Ireland, like playing for the countries that you wouldn't really hear of. So I think that's very interesting. But yeah, he's doing incredibly well this season, especially towards the latter part of the season. And like you said, boy, he does pick up a lot of injuries with Duff's team. And look, as I said to you before on the show, everybody's in for a striker. Everybody wants a striker every season. You always need a striker. Or you want the informed striker. You want the best product out there available.
He's
Um,
out of contract as well, so that makes it easier for other clubs in turn. Well, it makes it easier for other clubs in terms of not paying a fee, but it also makes it more difficult if 3 or 4 clubs are interested.
yeah, and he could be a player that he might go weeks and weeks and weeks before he actually signs with someone because he might be waiting to see what comes up to his door. And look, more power to him. Who wouldn't want to do that? Wait it out to see who comes in for him because it'd be interesting. I did hear Bows are interested in him as well, and he's certainly a player I would like on the team. And I'm sure
What the
Shelburne
other club that are interested in him as well are Waterford FC as well, to be honest. Yeah.
heard that as well, and I would actually like to believe that all these named clubs have probably given him a contract offer or who are interested in him, I would say. But in terms of Shelburne, I think he would go there. I think the chance to play under Duff,
Mm.
I think how Duff plays would suit his game. I think he would learn a lot off Boyd. He might strike a good partnership with him if they're playing together, learn off him. He'd get a run of games, European football. A
Mm.
lot there, that's going up for him over the other mentioned clubs like Watford and Bowes, maybe. So I would actually put this one likely. I'm going to put it as a 7 for all them reasons. I just think players in the league are going to want to play for Duff. Obviously, the Shelbourne fans are really good and they'll get behind him if he goes there. And I just think he'd be a good fit if White is out injured and he comes in. I just think it would work really well. with the other players that they have in that team. I think they bounce off each other, and it would fit him. Want to put as a seven, but as I said, he could easily go to Bowes, Waterford, even Galway, anyone in the league. I think nearly.
Yeah, it could be proven wrong, but I'd be very surprised if he signs back for Drogheda United, unfortunately for them. Now, finally, this one is going to catch you off guard, I think, to be honest. It's a player that's currently at Carlisle United. He's only played 3 games this season in League Two for Carlisle. He's from Donegal. He used to play for Bowes, started his career with Derry. Who is he?
Georgie Kelly.
Georgie Kelly, that's the man. Yeah, Georgie Kelly and Derry City.
Oh,
How
that's
would you
going to
see
take
that one?
goals. Yeah. Wow. Firstly, what a player. What a guy. He's a really, really nice guy. And
Mm,
every time you hear him on any podcast, he speaks so
mm,
well. I was actually very lucky, and I got to see him play in the championship with when he was on Rotterdam there a few years
mm.
ago. He didn't look quite out of place. I think Promise was on the team then as well. But yeah, that's an interesting one. All right. The fact that he's not getting any games over there would suggest that he's probably going to come home.
Because it's
He's
3 games with the League Two side, and I believe they're second bottom of the league as we speak as well. So that's not great, is it?
No, that's not great. Normally, a team that far down the league in England anyway would rotate teams, and England have an awful lot of matches, like a lot more than here, and they play a lot more teams, and they've got a lot more cups too. They've the EFL Cup, the FA Cup, the Justice Paint, or the what's it called, the Pizza Cup, whatever you want to call it. They've got a lot more games like than
It's
here.
a cup. I
So
love that.
yeah, but
Papa
like
John's, is it?
yeah, you think you'd get
The
to
pizza. They should call it the Pizza Cup, though. That'd be
Pizza
brilliant.
Cup, yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of Derry, like obviously he's from that part of the country. Well, Donegal, he might want to
Started his
fancy him
career at
back.
Derry City, like his
Yeah,
League of Ireland career. Yeah.
might fancy him move back home, be part of a new project, come in, beat the main man. But I certainly think every other club in the league would want him as well. But Derry have the capital and finances to offer him a good contract. This is, as you said, previous club is where he started, where he's made his name, where he made his mark, debut. He's got a lot of ties to that club. Fans would really like him if he came back there and all. And they're overhauling the team. They need to bring in players with experience, and he's certainly someone that would hit the ground running and
Mm.
create a spark up there for Derry. That's a very interesting one. I really wasn't expecting you to throw that one out to me. I was actually kind of hoping you were going to say Bowes, and my heart was going to tell me yes, but my head was going to tell me no. So at least if it's Derry, I can put it a bit better. I'm probably going to put yeah, I think I'm going to put it as a seven. Obviously because our window's open, it would probably be a fee, and I think Derry would pay it.
Mm.
But
I'd say
yeah,
it's a small fee if it's a
be a
fee.
small fee, like
Yeah.
even if it is a fee, but
Mm.
it would be something. It's a
Yeah.
very interesting one, and look, it'd be great to have him back in the league, bringing a bit of quality back to the league as well. And he's not that old either; still, I think he's mid to late 20s now as well. So he's at a good age,
20s, yeah.
and he would do really well there if he came back to Derry. I think. Yeah, very interesting one. I'm going to put it as a 7 out of 10, and hopefully he comes back to Bowes, but I won't hold my breath.
He might do, yeah, for Derry
No, no,
City
no.
at Dalymount Park. But
Oh,
we'll leave it there, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments. Give us a rating out of 10. Would you like to see these players at your club, etc., etc.? Subscribe to the channel. Nearly forgot what I was saying for a second there. And thanks for coming on, Daz. Thanks a million.
here's Keith.